Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning, Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody has fun plans for barbecues or picnics or whatever. Just have some fun, stay safe. So let me ask you this. Take COVID out of the picture for a second. What's the last pandemic you remember? Really? Okay. I can't remember any, all right? I mean, what are you going to say, AIDS or something like that? It wasn't a pandemic. We didn't shut down the country, tell everybody to stay home, do whatever. It was, okay, be careful, take a look at your lifestyle choices, and these are the risks, right? Okay, it wasn't like, oh my God, breathing is dangerous to your health, right? Like we had last time. Yeah, so if we haven't had a pandemic basically ever in anybody's lifetime, because calling the common cold a pandemic is kind of strange, but it is what it is. Okay. We all have talked about many times the World Health Organization and their perceived or supposed authority to make all the decisions around the world for the next pandemic, which is my point. I kind of get an idea. Why are we talking about the next pandemic? I mean, when's that going to come? 6 generations from now? I mean, what's still going to exist that long? I mean, the rate we're going, the United States won't exist that long. Rate we're going, the United States might not exist for another 6 months, let alone 6 generations. Y'all know about this big decision that our illustrious president wants to sign on to, to give the World Health Organization, an organization that's not even overseen, run by a doctor, all the decisions on how the world will handle a pandemic. Well, at least we have some people who are thinking. There's a couple of dozen Republican governors, go figure they're Republicans that doing the thinking, that have demanded that Biden abstain from joining this farce, okay? And if you want to go through who to know if your state is on board with this or against this, the governors of the following states have sent a letter to Biden saying, no, we're not going to, or we do not agree with giving the World Health Organization any authority on making decisions in our state because, it's unconstitutional, okay? Those would be Florida, Alabama, Alaska, Indiana, South Dakota, Tennessee, West Virginia, Iowa, Texas, Georgia, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Utah, Virginia, and Wyoming. Okay. Yeah. If you live in those states, your governor actually thinks that the people of your state should make the decision. If you live in one of the other states, they want globalism. Okay. They want some non-medical run organization to make decisions on whether you go to work, putting on a mask, what kind of stuff we want to put inside your body, how far apart the arrows need to be on the floor in the grocery store, that sort of stuff, okay? Yeah, I've talked many, many, many times about secession, and I see the United States breaking up into probably 5 different countries. Yeah, this would be a big one because I'm not letting, and I don't think a lot of other people are letting, some overly corrupt organization based somewhere far away make a decision on what I'm going to do in rural Tennessee. And I'm betting most of the people around here, and probably around a lot of the places where you guys live, are going to say the same thing. I don't give a shit what you say. I ain't listening. okay? Because here's the problem. Well, it's a pandemic treaty, and now all of a sudden they're going to start declaring other types of emergencies or perceived emergencies. Well, we need to take control over the United States because of the medical needs of illegal immigrants, right? Okay. Hell, we could have a pandemic in the United States that we've allowed to walk across the border, whether it's tuberculosis or syphilis or any of the measles, any other of the host of diseases that have been allowed to literally walk into our country across the southern border because, we don't test them, check them, ask who they are, do anything. It's like, hi, welcome to the United States. Here's your money, here's your phone, here's your plane ticket, go have a nice life. And the first thing they do is go, well, you know what? I've got to pop out a kid and, let me go over to the hospital and get my medical needs taken care of that somebody will also pay for. And then, oh, by the way, let me bitch that you're not giving me enough money. We need better living conditions. Living on the street is better living conditions than 90% of the countries that these people are coming from. Okay. How long does it take until the World Health Organization decides money is a perceived emergency? There's not enough money in Ethiopia to take care of the people's health. So therefore, we're declaring an emergency, and the people in the United States or Europe or Canada or wherever, you need to pay for it. And Joe would be perfectly happy to write a check, okay? Because God knows with this administration, Americans are last and everybody else in the world deserves what you've worked for. How many times I've said, stand up? It's unbelievable. To this, and this will be a good example of why your local, your state representative, your state senator, your state legislature, whatever they call them in your state, your governor, why it's important to know who these people are too, why it's important to know what their positions are on stuff. Because if you live in Massachusetts or Michigan or New York or some of these other states that I didn't mention earlier, your governor is totally fine with giving the rights away of the people of the United States or their respective states to some unelected bureaucrat halfway around the world to determine what's going to be required of you. Remember, they were requiring this last time too, and a bunch of people said, oh, hell no. But now it's not even going to be some dwarf named Fauci that's going to make those decisions. It's going to be some guy from Africa sitting in a office in Europe somewhere who, again, couldn't pick out Iowa on a map, but he's going to tell you what to do. Yeah, this shit's getting real, guys. And the globalists are hell-bent on making decisions for us. Whatever happened to our independence? Definition of, we make the decisions for us, nobody else. Sure as hell seems like the Democrats want to give up our independence. They want to protect democracy? My ass. They don't even want to protect our independence. Pinball out.